Recording. Okay, here we go. So this is our loading Friday. So this is in the fall, and many of us are wanting to do a lot of putting away of lawn furnitures, of all kinds of stuff. You get in funny positions. You pick up this, you do this, you do a little, too much loading all in one day. So this is going to be answering to that. It might be your hips, it might be your knees, it might be your shoulders, your back. Generally, it is your back and one of all those things. So get your pole. You're going to put it right here. You're going to step wide like this. You're going to be amazed at how good this feels, okay? You're going to just lean in. See, whenever I do this move, hi there, Bonnie, I see you. I think that's Bonnie. Yeah. It's good to see everybody. It was good to see you in person, but it's good to see you online. I can look out and see all the cute, beautiful deers eating all my trees. They're stripping the bark right off of them. Okay, see this? Generally, you would never think to do this, but I'm going to show you this move. Okay, this is especially if you have a little bit of a tight back, a little bit of a hip catching on you, shoulder. So see, I've got right here. Hi, Kay, I see you. Looky here. See this? See this swing? See what I'm doing? Okay, don't tighten your hip on this. Just let it go. Tightening your tummy, yes. Drop your shoulders, yes. Hands go right here. You're pushing down, okay? Soften your knees, push your butt back. Keep your knees soft and push your hips forward until you feel a stretch coming through those back extensors right through here. And I'm telling you, if you have a tight hip or if you're off in your spine, whatever way you've done maybe you laid wrong, you sat wrong, you sat too much. This is so helpful if you'll do this little swing that I'm doing. So this is our warm up. And so I'm going to say, get in the swing of things and do this warm up. Okay, we're going to get into our lifting, but we're going to do it a little differently because I happen to know how it feels. Number one, the weather's changing. We respond differently to different kind of barometers. Some of you know that. See what I'm doing? I'm pushing my hip bones toward the bar. My knees are soft. I am not tightening in my hip right now. I do tighten in my belly button and drop my shoulders. Okay, that's important. And then as you swing back, your knees are soft and you press down on the pole and you go down now as far as you feel you can with your elbows right in front of you. Then you rock into the toes and you push your hips forward into the pole. Okay, all these little idiosyncrasy moves are very important in this swing. See this? So we're going forward and back right now, okay? We're working forward and back in the sagittal plane. Then we're going to go into the frontal plane. Then we're going to go into the transverse plane. You didn't know you were going to go all those places, did you? Well, I'm telling you, that's what we're going to be doing, all right? Because that is the way we move functionally. You don't just do one thing unless you have impaired motion because of, see, as I'm just talking and I want you to be doing gentle swinging motion with your whole body. That's the thing here. See, my knees are soft. My hips are pushing forward. My hands are pushing down on the pole. My shoulders are down. Now swing back. Tighten your belly button. Push your butt back until and go down until you start to feel a stretch through your shoulders and through your back and through your legs. Yeah, so just like this. So as I was saying, I'm going to be moving you in all those planes of motion, okay? But you're just doing this gentle swinging of the core, the hips, okay? You're supporting it with your soft knee, your feet, your hands are on the pole, you're pushing down, and you're swinging it. Each time you go down, you drop your chin, and you go down just a little deeper, okay? So, you need to hear me on this. A lot of times, when you're having a wonky hip, okay, if you want to know about wonky, you have to ask Kay. She knows all about wonky, okay? I think Marilyn knows about wonky hips. She has wonky hips, okay? Seriously though, when you feel a tightness in your back, if you have a catch in your shoulder, if you have your knee, your hip, just in certain moves, just, oh, like that, a lot of times it's coming from imbalances in muscle, because of whatever's going on, the degeneration of the spine, the spinal stenosis, the hip, maybe you've got some arthritis in your hip, and it makes the muscles around it tighten abnormally, and then that affects the nerve there. Now, this is just part of problems. But when you do a movement like we're doing right now, and I hope you're doing every one of them with me, okay? See, I shift in my feet, I shift in my ankle, I shift through my knees, through my quads, the play between my quads and my hamstring. I'm pushing the hips forward with my knees soft, keep my chin tucked, shoulders down. Oh my goodness, you start to warm up, and you start to not have so much pain through those tight muscles, causing the muscle imbalances. Now, sometimes I really get tight and you have to have help getting out of it. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more. Do it with me, okay? Take a breath, drop your shoulders, hips go forward. Do not tighten your hips here. We're going to do that in just a minute, but not right now. Okay? Now we're going to take this pole, see this? And we're going to act like we are stirring a great old big pot, okay? See, I'm not going to go there with a witch's pot. See, I'm not saying that y'all are witches. I'm going to say I'm churning butter. That's what we used to do in the olden days, right? See, look at this. Look at this. See, my knees are soft. And when you go like this and you're reaching out, some of you are overreaching with your back. You're not in the column. I want you to reach, but I want you to reach with your arms. I don't want you reaching out with your back, okay? I caught you, didn't I? Because that's exactly what you're doing. Take a breath, drop your shoulders, soften your knees. You're going to go around and stir that pot, but you're going to stir it by reaching out through the shoulder blades. So you're opening the shoulders. See that? Yeah, we're warming up. We are going to be doing lifting on people that are out there in the Zoomy world that's doing this with me, that think, oh, not today. Let me just sit and watch because I've hurt my fill in the blank. I lifted too much lawn furniture and was putting them away, and oh, I turned funny, and okay, now go reverse now. Go reverse, okay? Set yourself down, knees are soft, rib cage is up, and when I go the other way, see, I'm reaching with my shoulders, yeah? Because I'm doing what? I'm staying in the column. See, if I were reaching the way typically people will do this, is it would look something like this. See, they'll go out like that. That's not what I'm doing, okay? So drop your shoulders. And when you go around with this pole, when you're right here, your shoulders should be down and your tummy should be super tight. And you should be on, you could be on your toes, or you could be on all four corners of your feet. You might even be into the heels to help keep you back. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand by showing you what not to do with bending out too far is when you do this kind of a motion, especially with an implement, which is our bar, a lot of people will over lean. And then that puts strain on that delicate back, okay? Whereas this kind of a motion gives you a chance to get your back lined up because my ear is over my shoulder is over my hip. See that? And even though my knees are soft, it's still dropping straight down there. So we're staying in the column. And see, then you can afford to speed it up a tiny bit. So when I'm shifting, I'm not really shifting side to side. Even though my legs are wider and you have a little shifting, okay, into the side to side and into the back, you're still pretty much in your column, okay? I'm going to go 2 more here. Okay, 1 more. Now here's the thing. Right this minute, say rib cage up. See, when I said that, even though I'm telling you that I don't want you to lean over, that's the tendency when you're doing a task in front of you, the tendency is to lean in. Okay, so say rib cage up, shoulders down. Rib cage up, shoulders down. So I'm going on this last little set, a little quicker. Rib cage up, shoulders down. Rib cage up, shoulders down. I'm giving my shoulders, I'm giving my core, I'm giving my legs, I'm giving my feet a chance to start loading, to start feeling motion through all those systems, the muscles, the bones, the joints, all of them are working on this. Okie dokie. 1 more. Yeah, okay. Big breath. Right back here like this. Look at my pole. See my pole? Yeah? So when I go like this, some of you went like this. I know you did. How do I know? Because I know my slugs. Some of them are green, some of them are purple, some of them are all kinds of colors. But we're slugs. And when we go like this with something in our hand, instead of dropping the elbow to ease up the shoulder issue or to work properly, we flare them. Now we'll do that sometime, but not right now. So lower your chin, okay? Now tighten in that belly button, okay? We're standing right here. We're gonna see them right here. I'm gonna grab it with one hand versus the other. When I come back to the W, this is straight up and down. See that? But look at my elbows, okay? This one correction right here, whoa, through a shoulder, oh my gosh, this is exactly what we got to do so that we stand up when we're ambulating through our world each day instead of doing this. We don't want to do that. So I'm telling you this one move. I just started you with 2 very key moves to help your core, your back, to get warmed up, and now through the shoulders. So when I put my hands back here, I say rib cage up, shoulders down, and the back of my hand is lined up with my elbow, and it's touching the sides of my seams on my shirt or my pants. See that? Then I'm going to reach, switch, and come back. You got it? So as I'm doing this, and I'm switching, I don't want to start doing this. See, I want to keep those down because I'm trying to get you to open this in a gentle way. Now, as you're doing that, let's think about what we're doing with our feet. So as I'm changing the little pole, drop those elbows to your side seams. That's important. Okay, keep them back there. And some of you are going to start feeling it. I know it. I know it. Just keep them back there. Take a breath. Okay? So as I trade, I'm just going to tap back. Then I'm going to come back in, and I'm just going to, it's a simple move. It's going to tap back. But here in this simple move, let me show you what I see happen so many times. Tapping back, okay, that people will take their knee out over their toe, okay? So that's what I don't want you to do. So you're switching, you're keeping your elbows down and tucked, you're tapping back, but you're staying back on that foot, okay? Take a breath. Here we go. Yeah, I know. Some of you are holding your breaths. I know that. Keep your elbows down. Okay. Chin tucked, elbows down. See, I'm tapping back here. But my knee is not out over my toe. That's very important here. So this, basically, it's a one-leg split stance. Okay. My knee is soft, but it's definitely not bent. Because if you bend it a lot of times, you're going to go out over your toe, okay? So this kind of one-legged tapping while you're tasking with your upper body, like we're doing right now, okay, should be getting your attention. In your shoulders, for sure. Yes. In the trapezius area especially. That means kind of up here into the middle upper back. See this? Tight tummy, don't go fast. Take breaths, don't go fast. If you start going fast, I can tell you, I know exactly what's going to happen. If you just start explaining, oh man, I can do this, I can do this, you're going to start doing this. This is not what I'm doing right now. Whoa, I'm doing a very, very important back re-education move. Right here, okay? Drop your shoulders, take breaths, just tap, keep that elbow down, keep the elbow down. We just got 2 more, okay? There, I gave you a number, 2. Okay, that's 1 and 2 and, see? Okay, drop down. Woo! Now, put your little pole down on your chair. See, I got my chair here, I got my little pad, I got my little bands. We're going to use that in a minute. So we just did a lot of this, okay? So I'm going to step out, and I'm going to drop my shoulders. I'm going to give myself a big hug, okay? So if you didn't get a hug yet this morning, here's the hug. Right there. I would hug you if I could. So this is my way of giving you a big hug. How do you like that? Okay, now when you did this, how many of you pulled your shoulders up? I know. Why do you do that? Because we're slugs. That's why. We forget. And we just go back to all those funny little moves that we do that many times get us into trouble. So that was one of the big messages Sarah Meeks was making about osteoporosis and the programs and everything that she runs, which basically I do all these moves. I looked at a lot of her stuff. Bad posture, poor lining up. So what am I doing right now? I'm going side to side. I'm doing pendulum, okay? I'm doing pendulum this way, okay, in the sagittal plane. Now I'm going to do pendulum in the frontal plane. See this? See? I'm just releasing my toe. My legs pretty much are straight right here. But I have to drop my shoulders. I have to keep dropping my shoulders and keep dropping my shoulders and keep dropping my shoulders. And I take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath. And then I'm going to go back to the sagittal plane. Front, 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 front. You can step or not step. It's up to you. Okay? And then we're going to go transverse. We're going to turn, pivot that toe, drop the shoulders. Turn, pivot, turn, pivot, turn, pivot. So when you're turning, I already cautioned you, when you tend to go one leg versus the other leg, what do we tend to want to do? We want to lean out of the column. For some reason, we think we have to lean way out here. That is not what we're doing right now. We're turning. We're doing a transverse move. I'm lifting my toe and turning. I'm keeping my shoulders down, and this involves those wonky hips. So I want you to be careful, okay? But it is a turning action. So the turning action is a move that you have to be careful with, especially if you have osteoporosis in your diagnosis, okay? You can do this extremely violently, or you can do it very gently, okay? I prefer the gently right now. Okie dokie, shoulders are down. We're just turning. Keep your belly button in. Take big, deep breaths. And these aren't people coming in to rob me. These are people that are checking all my systems out. So I know that they were coming in. Besides, I have my pole right here, and I would whack them on the head if I needed to. Okay, are you still? Some of you know what I'm talking about. Okay, drop your shoulders, breaths. And see, we're doing a lot of repetition. I understand that. But again, how did I start this session? Many of you are overdoing a lot of stuff outside. You go a little deeper to pick up that big old pile of brush. You get the lawn furniture and you stack them, and you're doing all kinds of stuff like that. It puts you in funny positions, okay? And typically, you could avoid a lot of problems if you went just a little lighter. You could go ahead and do all that, but you have to go a little lighter. That's all. Okay. Big breath. Take my little pole, and I'm going to do a rowing action now. Okay? So, I want you to remember this because we are going to do this with some weights here in just a minute. So, I'm going to step out. I'm going to lower my back leg, and then I'm going to take my bar and I'm going to row with it. Okay? Now I'm doing this keeping in mind that I've got people out there who think that because a knee or a back or a hip is kind of talking to them this morning that they can't do anything today. Okay? So see, if that's you, if that's your hat, then I guess you got to wear it. But I'm telling you, there's certain things that you can do differently, which is what I'm doing. I did a different warm-up. I didn't just walk front to back and get all going like that, okay? And I'm using the pole quite a bit because that will help us with balance. That will help us with all kinds of things, okay? So my tummy's in tight. As I step forward and back, not very much, not very much. See, just a little. But then I bend the back knee. I don't bend forward. I drop my shoulders. This motion is a very good motion for a shoulder issue. It has Kathy's name written on it. I had to say it, Kathy. I had to. Take a big deep breath. We've got a good class this morning. It's getting into those chilly mornings. Okay, we're going to be here live on Monday too. And then for a couple of days, you got to use your YouTube. You can just start pulling up different ones. And I put different captions on it. And then you'll remember, you'll go, oh yeah, that's the day she did this or that. And a lot of times they're different. A lot of times they're some of the same moves done a different way or with a different implement. Okay, take a big deep breath. Now it's time to get this gluteal on board. Now, how are you going to do that if you have a hip that's talking to you or a back that's talking to you? How are you going to do that? Well, I'll show you how you're going to do that. You're going to take your kitchen chair. You can, I like the back to be to you. So see, I just turned it. See that? Here's my pole. I can use my pole or not. That is your call. I can put my hands here if I really have a tight back, or let's say my shoulders acting up, or my feet, or whatever. Then just put your pole in the chair. Put your hands here, okay? Tighten on your tummy. Yes. You're going to bring your knee and tap the back of the chair. See that? Then you're going to swing it right down here, and you're going to tighten your gluteal now. Okay? Take a big breath. So tighten that gluteal. Now bring it back in. Okay? So right here, tap, tap, tap. Now tighten in, start tightening in right here. And remember, the supporting knee is soft, correct? My hands are here on the chair. My shoulders are down. If I was doing an advanced move for this move, and I'm assuming that you have all the move really good, see, then I would use my little pole like this, and I would lift and do a little rolling and lift up. Lift, a little roll, and come up. But your toe has to be headed down right there, okay? Otherwise, for most of you, especially if you've overdone it, yard work, etc. I should say you've overdone it with yard work, etc. And you've overdone it because maybe you watched a whole series of stuff and you didn't move enough. So it can be a little too much or not enough movement. That can get you in trouble. So hands here, drop shoulders, pull. See that? This has to be tightened. And we go tap, and we go tap, and we bring it in. Don't miss this. This is an important one because we've got the flexion and extension. Okay, so right here, and then we bring it down and bring that heel up. Okie dokie. So let me tell you something. We're going to do one more move here before we start picking up the weights. But if you did this program up to just now, you've given your shoulders, your neck, your back, your arms, your core, your gluteal, your hamstrings, your quads, a big boost of movement, okay? And so if you needed to divide this one, this workout today, this is right at half the class, okay? So I just did a few. I don't want to build too much tension on one side versus the other, so I don't want to stay in there too long, okay? Hands down on the back of the chair, drop your chin. Now you're going to trade. You're going to put pressure on the other side. Make sure your foot's straight on. And we're going to bring that leg up right here. So the knee is tapping the back of the chair. Then I'm going to bring it down, and I'm not just going to swing it with my knee bent. See, I want to involve the gluteal along with a hamstring contraction, okay? Because I'm trying to get those gluteals on board. Big breath, drop into your shoulders, ribcage up, yeah. Take a breath, tap, here we go. Tap, here we go. Keep that knee soft. Put your hands on that chair. Breath, whew, breath. Whew. Two more. And one more. Oh, you know what I forgot? I meant to have you come up every time. Sorry. Anytime you need to, and you bring that knee up, you get the flexion and the extension. So this is a very good thing. Flexion and extension right through that hip. Take a big breath. Squeeze that butt. Tap. Squeeze that butt. Tap. Squeeze that butt. Yes. Big breath. Since we're here, let's finish up this one. Let's just step back and step into the heel. Okay? Bend the knee just a little and then straighten it. Don't arch your back. Drop your shoulders. Take big breaths. I'm bending my knee, and then I'm straightening and pushing into the front of the chair. So I'm playing between two main moves in the knee, which really attaches to the Achilles and into the foot. And a lot of people only do one. They just do this one, which is a nice one to do. But then with your foot on the ground, you bend your knee and you'll feel the stretch move into what's called the soleus. Yeah, it's down lower. It's not the belly of the calf, so to speak. So we've got two. Straight leg, move in with your knee, push yourself toward the chair. Make sure your heel is down, and then bend your knee. It's amazing how this will ease pain through your back, your legs. It's amazing. Then you're going to come off of that, and you're going to switch. So I'll step back. I'll do the calf first, okay? So I'm going to step my leg a little closer to the chair in the front. So what I'm going to do is go straight leg. Then I'm going to bend my knee forward. Then I'll ease off and I'll bend my knee in the back. And I'll let it stretch for a little bit. I'm not going to set on it. I just want to give it a chance to just get flexible for me, okay? So tighten your tummy. Take a breath, drop your shoulders, bend that knee, take a breath, bend that knee, woo, and then come back off of it, okay? Now I'm going to turn this chair around, and now I'm going to start ushering us into some strength work now. But it's all keeping a mind's eye to the fact that a lot of you are doing a lot of outside work right now, getting ready for the winter, okay? So you don't have to do this stuff down in Florida or Alabama. I don't know if Lisa's on or not. Okay, what do I have here? I have one of my weighted balls. It's kind of squishy, and it's 6 pounds, okay? You can get whatever you have. If you just even have a squishy ball, just any kind of a cylinder. And if you don't have that, guess what? Guess what works just fine? A pillow. See this? I can just put a pillow right there. You could do this with those pillows in the airlines, you know? Just put a pillow right there. So why should you do this? I'm telling you, when you squeeze in, it changes your hip. It changes the way your hip's moving. Now, we squeezed the gluteal muscle, and when you squeeze the gluteal, it will rotate your hips out just a little. But when you do this, it rotates them back in. So you have to do both. And we don't do this one nearly enough, okay? So make sure it's comfortable. Make sure that it's right between your knees, okay? That's number one. I raise my heels a little bit because it's easier to push hard if I raise my heels. So I'm raising my heels, okay? My tummy is tight, and I'm hip hinged just a little forward because I'm pushing really hard right here. And you should be feeling it right in your groin there, okay? So push in. So as you lean forward and you don't want to round your back, what are you supposed to say? Some of you are screaming at the computer screen. Yeah, you're screaming to hip hinge. Yeah, and say rib cage up. Okay? And now you're squeezing. And then you're going to release and grab that ball because you need to release it. They get tight because they haven't been worked as much as we need to work on. So I'm going to tell you that if you want to help your hips, the leg lift that we did with the gluteal squeeze, that's great. You do that, you wake your hips up. But then sit down and take any kind of ball or a pillow for you teachers. I know it drives you crazy, doesn't it? If I say pillow. Well, some things we have to get over. I think Nancy's laughing. Okay, see, I just put it right. My heels are up. I'm going to hip hinge forward. I'm going to drop my shoulders. I'm going to squeeze this sucker right here. I'm really squeezing it. So I'm getting big contractions through the groin. Okay, and you can feel this. You can feel this action on your hip. Okay, you have internal and external rotators. And if you squeeze your gluteal versus your groin, they work the different ones, which is a good thing, which is what we need to do. So if you find yourself sitting somewhere and you're, like bored, anytime I sit, I get bored. So put a pillow right there and squeeze. See, I'm continuing to squeeze these, and then you release. Okay, so I'd rather have you do, let's say 3 maybe to 6 maybe really good holding squeezes. And if you use a weighted ball, it's gonna be some work. Okay, if you use a pillow, it'll be work. You'll still get contraction, but not quite like a weighted ball. Okay, see I'm squeezing? I'm telling you, the cross between this move and the one that we did before we sat down here to do this works so well in your hip, internal rotators, external rotators, and those are all wired into your back. That's why you get relief when you do some of these moves, but many times you don't take the time to do it. Okay, release that. And now that's one of our first big strength moves, even though all the other ones we were doing is using our body weight. And now we're going to do some strength work. And we're going to do quite a bit of strength work, even sitting, all right? Because some of you see what I'm doing here. So that was my hip replace side. I be careful. I don't rotate it out too much. I just put my ankle right across my knee and I just push down just gently. And if you will say rib cage up, lean back just a little and do this move, wow, that puts the icing on the cake as far as all around your hip. Why are these 3 moves super important? Because they're all attached. All these moves are attached into your lower back. Okay, somewhere mid to lower back. All right, into the pelvic and all that. Take a big deep breath. Okay, and the robbers are sneaking up the stairs again. Okay, take a breath. Put your hands right here. Okay, and just lift your butt and bring your head down and straighten your legs. Then come back down and sit down. Now I'm going to do this 3 times. Okay, this little move can help keep you out of trouble when you're sitting like in a plane or, so I think it should be done on a regular basis at church. That's what I think. Okay. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to drop my shoulders and I'm going to press and I'm going to lift and I'm going to put my head down, but I'm hanging onto my chair. See how I'm doing that? And I might lift my toes, then I'll come back and sit and I'll be right here again. Take a big breath. Okay? It tends to wake your brain up. Why? Because you've got your butt out of the chair. That's why people go to sleep in church. They sit too long. They need to get the blood up here. So I could teach this to a lot of pastors. It might help. Here we go. Okay, head goes down. Take a big deep breath. You should be feeling a big stretch coming up through the hamstrings. And then you just rotate and you come and sit down 3 times. Oh my goodness. The change in the blood transport, it makes you feel so much better once you've done that. Okay, now I'm going to go over here. I'm going to pick up some weights. I'm going to pick up light weights, all right? Because many of you have kicked up shoulder issues because you've been out carrying things that are too heavy, right? And you didn't want to ask for help, right? So I'm going to pick up my 5 or 6 pounds. So this is going to be lightweight to start with. So I'm going to be playing between lightweight and medium weight today, okay? So you can find whatever is light or medium for you. So this is a 5 to 6 pounds. So I'm going to come right here. I'm going to open back. I'm going to sit on the edge of my chair. I'm going to open back. I'm going to open my hands like this. I'm going to drop my shoulders. I'm going to bring one knee up, just like that. See that? Then I'm going to come back in. I'm going to bring the other knee up. But here's the deal. If you open this and you bring your knee up, if you round your back, then you have to stop. Okay, you have to stop and reposition. All right. So I'm going to open my arms. My shoulders are down. Okay. Don't grip the barrel of this thing too much. All right. Open back. All right. Bring the knee up. Okay. Hang out up here. Don't extend the knee, the foot. Just bring the knee up. Then bring it back in. See? So I'm going to come right back in. It's going to be right in front of my forehead. Then I'm going to open it. Drop your shoulders. Say rib cage up. You lift your knee. Hang out here for just a second. Don't grip the barrel. Wave to me. Take a breath. Come back in. Bring the elbows all the way in, all the way in. Okay, take a breath. Open. Bring that knee up. Okay, right there. Make sure you're not pointing your knee out. Make sure it's coming up toward the shoulder. Okay, then put it down. Bring the elbows back in. Okay, take a breath. Drop your shoulders. Open. Bring the knee up. Take a breath. So in this one move, it should be pushing you. And that's the reason why I said light weights. Okay, open. Bring the other knee up. Make sure you're not shooting your knee out that way. Pull it right up to the shoulder. Take a breath. Open your hands. Take a breath. Say rib cage up. One more time. Bring them in. Right at the forehead. Here we go. Open. Whew. Breath. Breath. Make sure that knee's going up toward the shoulder. Say rib cage up, rib cage up, rib cage up. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it down. Woo! That's why I say pick up light weights. All right. Big breath. So we did that move up here. Now we're going to move down. We're going to hip hinge forward. Okay? Just forward. See that? And the hands come right with me. See that? Hinge. Drop your chin right here. I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to go out. Then I'm going to come back in and down. So it's a very careful pull and then a push. So we have all kinds of systems in the body, in your body mechanics. And so I try really hard to get you to do most all of them. All right. Sometimes hard with, heavy weight. Sometimes this one's going to be lighter to medium today. So when you're in this position, here's what I want to ask. I want you to ask yourself, am I hip hinging? Is my rib cage up? My chin tucked? Then I'm going to pull my elbows back with this light weight. Then when I push, I don't want to come up. See, a lot of you are doing that. You're coming into this position, everything's good. You pull, and then when you go to push out, you lift. See, I don't want you to do that because I'm trying so hard to help you gets stronger right back here. Okay? So you have to stay down. So if I were working just with you, we would do this, and then when we start to go out, see, I would put my hand right in the middle of your back and just gently keep you from coming up, and then come back in and come back down. Now, there are those out there that have had, I don't think you have now, tennis elbow type things. Okay. If you grip too strong, and if you go out too far here with a real straight arm, you might feel a little tinge. You won't feel it at all if you'll pull back, don't grip, and then drop your shoulders as you go out. That's the trick. Because see, if you just go out like this and you don't engage your shoulders, the back of the shoulder blade and all in back here, it's going to kick up your elbow thing, okay? So I think some of you are kind of like, yeah, she's right. Don't doubt me on this. Okay, here we go. Some of you are laughing right now. Okay, we're going to keep doing it. Okay, are you ready? So a lot of people do this with way too much weight. That's number one. We can do it quite nicely with all the warm-up that we did, and then paying attention. See, I'm hip hinging. See that? I can push into my toes and lift my heels. See? I'm going to go pull. My shoulder blades are in. Then I'm going to drop my shoulders. Yeah. Then go out. But you don't go straight out. You just go out to a partial bend. See? And then bring back in. So it's a pull and then a push. Bring them in. It's a pull and it's a push. But you don't push until you've dropped your shoulders. Right there. Okay? Tighten in that tummy. Don't do this move without keeping that tummy tight. Okay? Pull. Now drop your shoulders. Say rib cage up. Now push. It's a whole different move. Oh my gosh. Pull. Push. Keep your chin tucked. Pull. Push. Try to stay down. You're going to want to come up, but don't. Pull. Drop your shoulders. Push. Down. Here we go. Pull. Drop your shoulders. Push. Down. Pull. Drop your shoulders. Push. Stay down. Two more. Pull. Push. And last one. Pull. Drop your shoulders. Push. Stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Come back in. Come back in. You just loved it, didn't you? I want you to tell me whenever that we go off camera if you felt that. When you pushed your shoulders down and went on out, you should have had no problems in an old tennis elbow type thing. Okay? Big breaths. So I'm going to put this weight down in here, and I'm going to take it up medium weight. So I'm going to go up to a 9 or a 10. So you could go to a, whatever's medium for you. Whatever you like as medium. All right. Take a big deep breath. I'm going to come right back to my little chair here. It's a wonder, this chair. Now I've got a medium. And these weights, and most free weights, have a handle on them. If you don't have that, and you even have a weighted ball. So you could do this next one with a weighted ball with no problem. Again, these are not robbers. They're workmen checking on my heating and cooling system. So see here, this is a 6 pound that I can do this next move with quite nicely. Or I can take my weights and put them right here. See? Okay? Now, in order to work and not hurt your back or strain it properly on this, okay, you got to be watching your posture. So drop your shoulders, Open at the hip a little. See, open at the hip a little, okay? Because when I go to lift, I want to work the muscles around the top of the knee and my core, my stomach. I don't want to hurt my back. So drop your shoulders, open at the hip, okay? Take a breath, lift the other leg up, don't rotate it, and then I bring that leg out. And then I just do little pulses. See that? So this has got, I'm just balancing this 10 pounds right above my knee there. Okay, drop your shoulders, say rib cage up, take a breath, take a breath. Don't hold your breath here, don't hold your breath. You'll get lightheaded and you'll wonder, what made me lightheaded? You need air. Keep breathing. Okay, bring it in. Should have felt that. Okay. Open at the hip hinge, drop your shoulders, take a breath, bring the other knee up, and then reach, and then we just do those little pulses right there. I'm hanging on to this 10-pounder right above my knee, right on my thigh there, right above my knee. Take a breath. Don't jerk it. Say rib cage up. Breath. Breath. Yeah, hang with me, hang with me. Couple more, couple more, couple more, couple more. Breath, and then come back. Yay. That was very good. All right. Put your weights down. Okay. We're going to use them here in just a minute. But we're going to do a simple little intercept with our pole. So we're going to peel our butts off the chair, just like most of us need to do every day. Here we go. Stand up. See, here's my pole. Up there. Put it on whichever end gives you the most stability. See? So I'm going to just hang on to it. Don't trip on your weights. Typically, I'll rack them, but I'm just leaving them right there because we're going to use them again. Now, we just work this muscle right here quite a bit. Okay? Now I'm going to go right here. And I'm going to strike a match. I'm going to go way back. See this? So I'm in that position. I'm pushing down with my shoulders down. My tummy is tight. And I'm going to bend at the knee. And I'm going to tap, bend, tap, bend, tap, bend. So let me just stay here. If you need more stability than just this pole, it is perfectly fine for you to put your hand on a chair and the pole, or on the wall, or both hands on a table, or whatever, side of the bed, because we're going to do these until these start screaming. This is our hamstring curls. So yes, if you had a leg weight and you wanted to strap that leg weight on, that would be perfectly fine. Okay? But if you use your own body weight, here's the deal. Many people who I have had them do this move have a really hard time of getting 3 sets of 10 doing that many because they're too weak back here. So why would I want to put weight before they can do 3 sets of 10 with no weight? Okay, so again, see, use your stick, use a chair, but bring the knee back, pull. See, I'm still on the same one. So my rib cage is up, and I'm just pulling gently. I'm feeling that hamstring all the way as I bring that heel into the hip. Breath, drop your shoulders. Breath, drop your shoulders. Breath, breath, hang on, hang on, hang on, take a breath. Here we go, pull. Here we go, pull. Just 3 more, just 3 more, just 3 more with me. Just do it. Breath and breath. So I'm telling you the formula. If you can't do that move, 3 sets of 10, not fast and jerky, but squeezing that muscle. Don't do it with a leg weight yet, okay? Because I'm more worried about your postural set. Okay, we're in the other one. See, I'm going to tap back here. See how I get my knee all the way back? Hang on to your pole and a desk or a wall or just a pole if you want to make it even harder. That's fine. Bend your knee. Tight tummy. Here I go. Pull. Heel to hip. Pull. So don't go fast on this. Keep your shoulders down. Yeah, keep your elbows soft because that's positive pressure. In using the pole or a hold position, keep your shoulders down. Give your shoulder girdle a chance to get stronger, not hurt your shoulder joint. Now, some of you, as you're doing this, unless you're straightening it up, you're going to want to pull that knee out to the side. The knee stays pointing down. And I'm not going fast because I'm squeezing the back of that leg muscle right there. Pull. Drop your shoulders. Yes, take a breath. Keep the knee down. Breath. Just 3 more now. Take a breath. Take a breath. 1 more. Yes. Woo! Okay, put your pole down. And you're going to be sitting down, and you're going to get your little weighted ball. Okie dokie. We're going to end with this one. This is going to be a bridge. Okay? So we started this segment of strength work with weights. They're light weights, but they're weights with a groin contraction. And we're going to end it that way. So see what I'm going to do? I'm squeezing. So what am I going to do? I'm going to drop my shoulders, and I'm going to put my hands right here under my hips, and I'm going to lift the hips while I'm squeezing that ball. And then I just bring the butt down, just squeeze, and just squeeze through the gluteals, okay? Take a big breath. Your elbows are soft. Your shoulders are definitely down. This is handling your own body weight. If you were going to have any kind of surgery that would involve anything, lower body, back, you would have to get yourself strong enough to handle your body weight. See, I'm squeezing that ball. Lift the hips. Breath. Elbows are soft. Breath. Breath. Hang out. Hang out. Hang on. Hang on. And come back. Oh! Don't you feel better? Put your hands out here. Come right into here. Act like you're going to cross your legs, but you don't. What instead you do is you say rib cage up. See that? Then you bring it back down. Take a breath. Drop your shoulders. Open back. Tighten. Act like you're going to cross your legs with your hands out here. Say rib cage up. Breath. And bring it back down. Okay? We're going to go ahead and stand up. All right? And we're going to do a little split leg pendulum. Okay? So I'm doing this because Marilyn loves this one. Okay? She doesn't like any of the other ones, but she likes this one. So see, if you tell me a favorite, I'll be happy to incorporate it. I'm wondering how Mary Martin is doing today. So we'll have to check on her later. Switch. See, just a few. Shoulders are down. Take a big deep breath. Just hang out here for a bit. See, I'm just really working all different planes of motion with this little move, okay? Because that's kind of what we do when we walk and we turn direction and we lift and pull. We're doing all different kinds of directions. Anyway, that was what I call a gentle workout. And you should feel better